Hello Internet, this is Alfie with BigCatCountry.com bringing you another edition of Jaguars Film Room. This week we're going to look at the play of the offensive line against the New York Jets, a game which the Jaguars lost 17-10. Their offense was especially inept until late in the game when the Jets were kind of playing a little prevent defense in the final 2 minutes. A big reason why the Jaguars offense was so inept was the offensive line struggled in pass protection. They struggled run blocking. Chad Henne's been sacked 13 times the past 3 games. He was sacked 3 times on Sunday against the Jets, hit 10 more times. He was harassed much of the day when he was trying to pass the football. A lot of it was the struggles of guard Evan Britton, who had a spot start in place of Michael Brewster, who has a cast on his hand when he hurt his wrist last week against the Bills. But Britton got whipped all day long. He's been an issue, be it at right tackle or left guard. He wasn't the only one, though. The offensive line as a whole played pretty poorly and allowed way too much pressure on the quarterback and just didn't do a good job in their run blocking. So that's what we're going to look at today. The first play we're going to look at is the Jaguars in the red zone early in the first quarter. They get right down the field on running the football and hitting some quick passes. When they get near the end zone, they go to take a shot. Play action pass. Chad Henne's hit as he throws the football. It wobbles in the air, winds up being picked off by the Jets. That's one thing you can't have is turnovers in the red zones. But what caused the play was, poor assignments on the pass protection. The Jaguars line up with 6 offensive linemen. Guy Wimper checks in as a tackle eligible, and he's on the right side of the line. As you can see, number 50 on the Jets is pretty much unblocked. It looks like he's sitting in a zone or a delayed blitz. Guy Wimper goes to block the inside, which is really kind of unnecessary because Cameron Bradfield is already there taking up the inside. So Wimper doesn't really need to help out there. And because as soon as he goes inside, the Jets linebacker comes on the blitz. Chad Henne doesn't see him because he's staring down Mercedes Lewis the whole way, looking to go to the end zone. Henne's hit as he throws, ball's wobbled in the air, and it's picked off. And those are the things you can't do in the red zone. And a lot of that is, poor pass protection. Guy Wimper's got to maintain the outside edge there and make sure no one else is going to come if he's going to go inside and help like that, and he goes inside to help too early. The second play we're going to look at is a 2nd and 10 late in the third quarter. The Jaguars are trying to get going, driving down the football field. On the play, it's Muhammad Wilkerson, the Jets' defensive end, who causes the pressure, and he's lined up over left guard Evan Britton. As I mentioned before, Britton really had a poor day against the Jets. He was beat quite a bit, and on this particular play, Muhammad Wilkerson just blows right past Evan Britton. It doesn't even look like Britton gets a hand on Wilkerson. And because Wilkerson gets in the backfield so quickly, he forces Chad Henne to kind of rush the throw, making it inaccurate. He leads wide receiver Kevin Elliott just a bit. Elliott gets a hand out, kind of gets a hand on the ball. It looks like it's a drop. That would have been a very difficult catch, though. Elliott would have likely had to kind of dive for the football to make the catch. But because there was pressure up the middle, which is what you don't want for a pocket passer, because there was pressure up the middle so quickly, Henne has to rush the throw, and it's an inaccurate throw. And again, these are the type of breakdowns the Jaguars' offensive line has had all season. It's been a huge issue, be it because guys are filling in due to injury or players just not playing very well. And with Evan Britton, that's a case where he's just not playing well at right tackle or at left guard. So they need Brewster to get back in there, who Evan Britton's filling in for. But again, this play, he just flat out beat right off the snap and allows the interior pressure. Final play we're going to look at is a 3rd and 11 late in the third quarter. The Jaguars are backed up in their own end zone. It's another play where the Jaguars allowed interior pressure, and against the pocket passer, that's how you totally disrupt a play. Jets defensive ends, Quentin Copel's a rookie. Lines up, he's kind of stood up a little bit, going to come on a blitz. He's lined up over the center, Brad Meester, and on the snap, he just completely bull rushes Meester way into the backfield, right into Chad Henne, forcing Chad Henne to take off and And when you force a guy like Chad Henne, who's a pocket passer, to try and make something on the play and run because you allow interior pressure right into his face, it's usually not going to end well. As you can see, Henne is sacked on the play. It's only a 2-yard loss. Could have easily been a 10-yard loss on the play if Copels had gotten his hands on him. But it's just another, bad pass protection play by a Jaguars offensive line who's really struggled much of the year. You can't have your center walked right into the face of your quarterback 10 yards deep in the pocket. You're just not going to be successful if you allow stuff like that to happen during the game. And, it wasn't the only time they allowed interior pressure. It was one of the many times. Copels ended the day with a sack, quite a few hurries. He hit the quarterback as well. So when you have those big, powerful, athletic defensive linemen and you allow them to push your guys in the backfield, it's going to net quarterback hits and it's going to net sacks. So there's only 3 games left in the season. The Jaguars are still going to have to try and block guys, especially against the Miami Dolphins next week, who have a very, very good defensive line. So it's going to be a challenge, and it's going to be interesting to watch. As I mentioned before, they gave up 13 sacks the last 3 games. Chad Henne's been knocked around quite a bit, and I don't expect that to change going into the closing weeks of the season. So remember, you can subscribe to our channel at SBN Big Cat Country. You can subscribe to the SB Nation NFL channel, SBN NFL. And I'll be back next week with another breakdown of probably how bad the Jaguars are.